Hello everyone, this is Plankera, and today we're going to continue rigging Shalom from Paths to Nowhere. Just taking a quick look at some stuff this morning, and got a few things I want to correct around the over-the-shoulder hair here. I kind of feel like the shadow on this area is not quite right. Gonna stare at it just a little bit more before I go in, but it kind of looks like it's flattening a little bit strangely. Just wanted to give it one more look before I went in there. But now, I think I know what I have to change. One moment. I can't tell if my chat is working here. Let me see. Okay. Nope, chat's fine. Just looking a little bit strange there for a moment. Alright. So now I can safely go in and correct here. Just didn't want to miss any messages while I was staring at everything. Didn't want to make sure I had to set up a contingency. I have a few other things that I can do if, for whatever reason, my panel in OBS decides it doesn't feel like working today. Always good to have some backup plans for important stuff like this. Alright. That didn't quite get in the way I hoped. Nothing more to do than to keep poking at it. But I think I have a decent idea of things to try. So I'll just go ahead and try those real quick. I saw some areas over here look like it was shifting down the strand a little bit, so wanted to try putting those back up and then making things around here thin again. So it looked like it was getting a little bit thick with that last change that I made. Oh, no. Shifting it upward way too much to compensate for what I thought I saw there. Oh, wow. That's quite a difference. Way too much there. Way too much indeed. Alright. Okay, yeah, that's a bit better. I don't mind it getting a little bit flatter. But even this, honestly, might still be a little bit too much. I kind of feel like the entire shape has changed. The angle is just totally off here. Okay. So yeah, I just need to give this little area a little bit more love. Help it find the spot that it wants to be in. Try to get a better idea of the angle that's there. I actually don't think that's gonna be right, yeah. Man, that's a lot of shifting. Let's take a look at the mesh and see if that helps me out any. Alright. So I'm not gonna look at the art itself for a second, I'm just going to see how the mesh is moving, and once I am satisfied with how the mesh is moving, then I will go and look at the art again and make sure that everything is good in that regard. Because yeah, it looks like I slid those vertices way too far up and it was causing all kinds of problems. So I'll just go ahead and move them back and see if that helps any. Okay. Yeah. And I saw the shifting there, and I noticed this big gap in here. I thought for sure that's what I was seeing, or the cause of what I was seeing, but yeah, I just moved way too much. And it's just causing problems throughout this entire little area here. It's okay, little vertices. I'll make everything right again. Just gotta get you into the right spot. We all make mistakes sometimes. Okay, this is probably fine. Let's see how it actually looks. Okay. Still kind of has this effect that makes it look squished, but I think that's this strand, not the clump underneath it. Just gotta make this area kind of a little bit more concave, I think would be the best way to describe it. Have it kind of go down and then back up. Can tell that I might have gone for a little bit too long yesterday, but I was just having too much fun, so I can hardly blame myself. Some days I just don't want to stop. And I think that's fine. It's like it leaves a little bit more work for present me to do in order to correct the mistakes of past me, since I worked when I was still when I was perhaps a little bit too tired to make any really solid progress, but it's okay, it was worth it. I have no complaints. And it should be pretty straightforward to get these little strands back in place. Oh, but I'm making it way too skinny here. I say it should be easy, and then I'm just like, oh, mistakes were made. Isn't that just how it goes sometimes? Bringing out the big guns and using the brush to help with the vertices there. I think that was a little bit easier than doing them individually, since I really just needed to thicken out that whole area. Just got way too skinny. Way too skinny. And it didn't look quite right. Okay, I think thickness has been achieved, but unfortunately in doing so I kind of lost the curve that I had set up over here before. So now I just gotta get that back. Try to move both these ends together so this way the thickness of the strand stays about the same. Do not want to move them any closer or further apart. So if they get closer, then I have to move the other one downward to compensate. So this way it doesn't actually get any thinner. Okay, maybe something like that. Alright, yeah, I think that'll look good once I fix up the shifting upward that's happening here. Just gotta push some of these guys down. They just got a little bit too separated. Now they want to get back into their proper distance. Okay, and that was a little bit too much apparently. That keeps happening. Can never quite find just the right amount. It's okay. I'll keep trying until I get it. keep trying until I get it. It's fine. I've said it before. Art's not a race, so it's fine if I take a while to get things done. Especially since I'm mostly just doing it for fun and trying to have a good time. Okay, still not completely satisfied with the angle on the clump here. And I think fixing that will fix some of the angle problems that I see on the strand as well. So let's see if I can get that angle looking a little bit nicer. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Okay. So next thing, there was still a very minor issue near the top here that I didn't like on this tiny strand coming off. Which one are you? Is that you? No. Alright, it's gonna take me a second to find it because I can't remember which one it is. It's that one, apparently. Okay. Just the angle of the curve here was bothering me a bit. I'm not actually sure if that was the right direction. Mostly the right direction. Which one is this? This one, okay. And then there's just a little bit of shifting that I want to fix up. Fortunately, this is a fairly minor problem, but it was bothering me, so I wanted to come in and fix it. I don't like to leave things that are just bothering me for no reason. If it's bothering me, I want to come in and make it all better. If it can manage to hide from me, or if a problem can manage to hide from me, then I guess it gets to stay, but if it fails to do so and I notice, I want to make it better. Always just want to make it a little better. Hold on, my headphones are freaking out. Give me just a moment. Alright, all better. Just had the sound playing out of one ear again, and I always hate it when that happens. It just sounds... I don't know. It feels really weird. Like, the sound, I guess, is okay. Maybe not my first choice, but, the way it feels in my head, it just feels wrong. So wrong. Alright, now I just want to go and fix the last little bit of shifting that I see in the strand here. There's a little bit up at the top here. And I always feel like these shifting problems are more noticeable in tiny strands like this. So I just want to give it a little bit of attention. See if I can't work it all out. Make everything just a little bit better for these little vertices here. I don't know, maybe something like that. Just, I don't know. I'm not sure if it's shifting or thickness. I think it's probably more thickness than anything. Just like right there. Just kind of need to compress it a little bit. Still feels like there's a little bit of a distortion there, but... Okay, yeah, there is. I think it's just Mostly because of shifting. I'm actually going to take a quick look at the mesh. See where I'm going wrong here. Okay. Mesh helping me out here. Just got pulled out a little bit too hard, so we'll push a little further back in here. Something like that. Perhaps. And then this one needs to come up here a little bit more. This needs to come down slightly, and this needs to come up slightly. Once again, I'm not looking at the art at all, just how the mesh is moving. It's like it doesn't have to be one-to-one, but sometimes it can give me a couple of hints on what I should try if I ever feel a little bit lost. And right here I did. Because this little strand... Oh, this little strand is not cooperating with me. It gave me some trouble the first day I worked on it too. No wonder I keep coming back to it and just seeing more problems. But I think it's good now. So I want to move on to the last issue that I saw, which was this strand right there. I zoomed out. I kind of thought it was moving, yeah, way to the left there. Very strongly, actually. Still trying to be fairly gentle here, just because I know that every time I'm not, I just overdo it so strongly and then I just have to go back and fix it again. So I'm trying to be very gentle in my movements here. See if that gets it. Not quite. Still has to go a little bit further, I think. Just a little bit, though. Still really don't want to overdo it, so I'm being very gentle here. Very, very gentle. Just lightly touching the area. See if I can get the last couple of problems out of it. Just improve Vertex Society forever. If I'm being honest, I'm not quite sure where these ones want to go. It's always kind of strange. This is one area where I feel like the more I move it, the more it has no idea what it wants to do. So it always leaves me a little bit at a loss of what I should be doing for it. And I'll just try one thing at a time and see what happens. As always. All you can really do is see what happens. Okay, and at this point, I think I moved the bottom part a little bit too far, so I gotta push it back over. That was kind of what I was worried about when I was moving it the first time. Just that I'd move it too far, and then I'd just have to move it back. Because that seems to happen a lot. Okay, but this looks promising. Is it better? I still feel like I see a little bit of shifting in there. Something is still not quite right. Not quite right. That's kind of what I mean. This is what it was like the first time I was doing this area of just nothing I ever did here ever seemed to make things better. And it does get a little bit frustrating sometimes. Well, I'll keep trying. Let's do some teeny tiny adjustments. See if that gets it into place. Because, I mean, it looks like it's really close. Close enough that I question if anybody even knows what I'm going on about here. But I know what I'm going on about here, so it still makes me want to fix it up. Okay, I think... it's close. Very, very close. But I still see a couple of things, like, right around here. And I do want to get everything looking as good as possible. Unfortunately, I don't think the other strands will take too long, so I can afford to just mess around here, do what I want, and still have time to finish up all the hair in this downward turn. I'm really looking forward to starting the upward turn, so I would like to finish off everything today if I can get away with it. But at the same time, I don't want to neglect these little problems that still need my help. But man, this area right there, it still just never seems happy with any of the changes that I make. Nothing ever seems quite right. Ah, that poor little strand. It must be contrarian. Just never satisfied with anything that it has. Giving personality traits to pixels now. It's fine. Let's see, do I have it? No, not quite. Still not quite. Autosave here, trying to tell me to stop. Can't tell me what to do, autosave. I'll do what I want. Nice try, though. But, like, it's like... It's so close. I want to just get that last little bit looking the way I want it to. Okay, yeah, I think it's good now. So down the list. Right there. Okay, so how's this strand? Whoa. You're going way up there. Okay, I actually want to take a look at the mesh. Is the mesh being stretched or is it moving? Okay, no, it's just being stretched. I wanted to determine that before I attempted to move all the vertices up. I wasn't sure if I needed to move them all up or if I needed to just kind of squish them back together again. A little. Because it looked like it was connecting to the top right. It was just moving downward way too far. But this seems correct. See, I told you the strands wouldn't be that bad. And that I could mess around with what I wanted. It's totally fine, right? Yeah, it's totally fine. Okay, I think this is another one where I kind of want to look at the mesh. Is it just getting stretched? Yes, yes it is. So we'll just grab a big old brush, make it big, and where does it connect? Kinda, yeah. I know that spot. I spent so long trying to get that spot to cooperate with me. I'm very familiar with it at this point. Okay, still looks like it's getting stretched and thinned out. So this one's gonna need a little bit more attention, but that's fine. I can give it a bit more attention. It's no good when little strands like this feel like they have to be, are forced to be made small. Deeply unfortunate. So I'll just let him flex his true size once more. I think it still might be a little bit thin down the middle there, but okay. No, it's not the thinness, it's just the angle. The relative thickness of that area is fine. That area is just naturally skinny. But it has a twist in it, and I need to find the right spot for that twist. Okay. Just using the mesh to kind of help me out there. Figure out where that twist should happen. And down here, everything is being kind of pulled around and... Okay, let's see what happens here. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so things are starting to get a little bit distorted around here. I probably moved some of those vertices a little bit too much, yeah. Definitely. That's okay, that kind of experimentation was necessary, I think. Figure out where everything should go. I'm mostly just looking at the mesh again. Kinda trying to use it to help me figure some of this stuff out. Because some of this is proving to be a little bit tricky and a little bit hard to see. Because this strand got distorted in kind of a weird way when I used the mesh grip to pull everything down. Alright. Let's see here. What exactly do I do with all this? Okay. Yeah, I think I've worked out a lot of the stuff at the top, so now I just gotta work my way down. And then I'll go through and make sure that the art itself looks good at the end. Yeah, there's another little twist here that I need to get back in. All these little strands I think are kind of interesting. They do really make the hair look so much fuller. And I think it's kind of funny how big of a difference that they make. I think her hair will look a lot nicer once I get them all on. There's only a few left too. So that'll be nice. It is a case of just a lot of little things building up on each other. in order to make something that looks nicer than, like, each individual piece. It's greater than the sum of its parts. I think these little strands coming off do help. They'll help a lot once it comes time for hair physics. Hair physics are really going to be a blast with this model. And it's almost time. Probably be a couple more weeks just because those corners are going to be a complete nightmare. But I am so excited. Once I go back to work on the corners, I think it's going to be time for more egg mode. Bald Shalom will rise once more. Because I want to get, like, the chin and all that stuff looking right before I start worrying about the hair again. And having the hair on while I'm trying to do all that actually makes it harder, so... Bald Shalom once more. Just the way it has to be. Okay. How's it doing anyway? I'm not quite sure if I got it all the way at the bottom. But, yeah, I think so far it's doing pretty well. And indeed, I don't quite have it right at the bottom. But it looks like I don't actually have it quite right at the top either, so let's start back up there and start working my way down again. I think, like, the top looks mostly fine. It's not till a little bit further down that things start getting a little bit off there. I'm paying some attention to the art here, but mostly the mesh. The mesh, I feel like, is going to be the great guiding force right now. It's right around here, I feel like, is where a lot of the problems are arising. I just want to make sure everything's good there. Yeah, and there's a little bit of shenaniganery happening up here. Guess I should make sure that the top looks good before I work my way down. That tends to work out better than the other way around. Gives me a nice, good couple of anchor points to work with. And everything up at the top is looking great. Makes it easier to know where the lower parts should go relative to the upper parts. I guess strictly speaking, it doesn't matter whether it's top or bottom that I work from. It's just which area has the most other points around it that I think also are already right. So this way, when I see something sliding relative to those points, I know that I have to go back and fix it. And when everything looks right relative to those points, I know that they probably are. Okay, let's see here. Round that out a little bit. Should I not have? Indeed, it seems I should not have. My habit of wanting to make hair round strikes again. It's not supposed to be round here. It's not supposed to be round. Not at all. But yes, part of the reason that I'm looking forward to these strands for hair physics is I think I can give them a bit of extra floppiness, and I think it'll look cool. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Physics in this program are pretty straightforward, but pretty nice looking. I think it can pretty easily keep up with what Live2D can do already, and they're adding more features to make it easier and make it look better. So I'm really looking forward to that. A lot of the stuff on the list for the 0.9 release looks pretty cool. And from what I can tell, they'll also be updating 0.8, the current version, a little bit more. So I think there was another minor release recently. I probably won't be grabbing it for this model, just because I don't really like to update versions in the middle of working on something. There's potential for that to cause issues. So I think I'd prefer to finish this one before I jump into the new version. But you can bet that I will for the next thing that I work on. There's some new kind of UI things to make life a little bit easier, and then I think there's like some new functionality with mesh groups. Not entirely sure how some of that works, but you can bet that I'll be trying it all out when the time comes. Alright, I think that strand is looking good now, so let's move on to the next one. Right there. Let's see. Oh my. Okay, so this is one where it looks like the entire thing is moving downward, but it isn't really being, like, stretched. Yeah. Where does it connect? Kind of on that part. Okay. So we just gotta take this and move it on up. Easy. That might be all I need to do. It'd be nice if that was all I needed to do. Oh, nope. Looks like it got stretched a little bit too. Okay. Well, that's also not a problem. I can unstretch it. Just maybe a little bit bigger. Autosave. I didn't ask for your opinion. Okay. A little bit bigger. Alrighty, so let's see if that gets rid of that stretched out feeling that it had. Mostly, I think I just need to shift all the vertices upward a little bit. Floof it out just a little bit there. And once all these vertices head on up to the top, I think it should look fine. I think it just got a little bit stretched out. And I just need to kind of... what's the right word for this? Get the distance between each vertex more even, instead of having it all bottom heavy like it was before. That's all. Yeah, and I kind of like the way it kind of looks like it's twisting backwards a little bit there. Okay. So it looks like the back... or, nope, one more loop, and then the back hair, and that'll be all that's left. This one I actually think looks pretty alright. I just kind of want to adjust the very bottom of it. Just tuck this in here a little bit. And that should be fine. Yeah, and you're even seeing a little bit more of the gap between here. And I think that makes sense with the downward head turn like this. I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, I think I'm satisfied with that. Okay, back hair time. This will be a little bit different because when her head is going down, all the hair in the front goes down, but the hair in the back actually goes upward. It's being pulled upward because it's attached to the back of the head, and the back of the head is further forward. So I'm gonna need to take, like, all of this, and might actually want an even bigger brush and to use this one. Yeah. And just really push this all up. Really get it up there. This is probably too much, but I kind of want to start from just way up here. Yeah, no, it actually wasn't. If anything, it's still not enough. Okay. Well, let's push it up a little bit more. I'll have to push it down at the top a little bit. That's doable. And I'm trying to get this part of the side here to kind of line up with the strands on the outer edge a little bit better. We push down over here just so it doesn't start sticking out. Alright, how's that? Okay, I think it's ready for some more precise changes now. Got the big picture in, so now let's get the details. It is time for the next step. Push all this on over here. Get this area to hide behind the strand again. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna worry about the area by her neck first. Just because that was the first area I saw. There is no particular reason for it. But it's there, and I will fix. Okay, so I think it's moving upward a little bit too much, but I think the idea is very solid. I do want it to move up a little bit, just not quite that strongly. It should look pretty cool once it's all done. Okay, now I just need to get these angles right. Because this one is going like way over here, whereas in the original it's going like straight down. So they're separating out a little bit too much here. Just need to pull these areas a little bit closer together. Probably over here too. I'm not going to worry about anything further to the right yet. I'm just going to get the angle on this one strand to be correct. This one clump. I'm not too worried about the areas below here, but I kind of want them to be relatively moving in the right direction, because I think it'll make it a little bit easier when physics comes. After all, the area that I don't see might end up being relevant when it comes to, like, how the interpolation and how things will shake out on the left and right corners of the downward turn here. Maybe something like this. Okay, I compressed it too much, but the idea is right. Idea is right, just need to work on the execution still. So just keep going. One thing at a time here. Man. I really did a number on that. Alright. Really did not need to pull these as far over as I did. I guess this area was supposed to be pretty far apart from here. Okay, let's see what the mesh says to me. I will listen to the mesh here. Let it give me some ideas. Some things obviously have to move around a bit. But with the sheer amount that it was moving like that, I can kind of see why I was having some problems. Definitely having some problems here. Definitely having some problems. So we'll scooch things over a little bit. Try not to get too distracted by making everything the same, because I don't want it to be the same. I just kind of want some clues as to why everything looks like it's going very, very wrong here. Some of these I think need to be pulled down. The way I pulled up the entire hair probably caused some compression problems, so let's start separating these out a little bit. Let's actually get the brush again. What has been caused by the brush can be solved by the brush. We'll just kind of pull things down a little bit here. Hopefully get rid of some of the compression. Okay. And then I can manually go back and adjust the vertices where I want them after. I just happened to see a little shadow here that needed to come back in. So I wanted to go grab that real quick while I was thinking about it. And the back hair here might actually take a little bit longer than I was expecting. I thought it was going to be pretty straightforward. I might just be moving it upward a little bit too much. Yeah, I don't think our head moves quite that far. Alright, let's get a really, really big brush again and just pull everything downward just a little. Okay. There we go. That's like everything. Yeah, that's a little bit better. And once I move this top piece down, that should help a little bit too. Because I do want this light part to go up. Just not that much. Okay. Now time to search the mesh for a few more clues. See what it can tell me. There's a great mystery happening in this hair. Why are the vertices panicking? What can I do to help them? Much information is contained within the mesh. I'll just extract it on out. Should be fairly straightforward. Yeah, the way I moved everything up so drastically definitely probably made life a little bit hard on me. Yeah, that's okay. I can handle it. It won't be a problem. Just gotta fix it up a bit. I'm not actually sure if it's moving up enough anymore now, but I'll cross that bridge when I get there. I kind of want to just make the vertices stop freaking out quite so hard. Okay. I'm gonna zoom out all the way here, just so I can make sure that it's moving up about as much as I want it to. Okay, maybe actually a little bit more than this. Just a little, not too much. So I'm kind of gonna use this as my guide to how much everything should be moving up. Oh yeah, that looks about right. Looks about right. Okay, so next I think is going to be this highlight here. That's the area that's bothering me the most right now. I want it to go a little bit higher up. Well, I want it to go a little bit higher up, and I also want it to be longer. So that means some of these guys have to come down. But that's not unexpected, since I dragged everything up so hard. Some of these little vertices seem to have gotten confused. So it might take me a few tries to figure out where a lot of this stuff should go. This will definitely be a lesson for the future. Gotta be careful with the brush. Gotta be real careful with the brush. It holds great power, but also many problems. So I've got to treat it with a bit more respect. Definitely did not respect its power. Okay. How do I want to do this? Over here looks like it's going to be a bit easier, so I'm going to go ahead and finish the other area around the neck. It looks like it's mostly done already. I just need to get the thickness right on this gray spot right there. The thickness and the angle. But otherwise I'm pretty satisfied with how it's moving. Just a few quick adjustments necessary. Yeah, there we go. I think that's moving very nicely now. I think the angle on the area by the neck on the other side is still a bit wrong, though. So let's see if I can't get that looking a bit more like it should. Keeping the angles right, I think, is an important part of making the area look like it's moving as opposed to just squirming around. Making it look like her head is actually moving downward instead of just having everything kind of randomly move around her head. I think I'm actually going to hide that side bang for a second there, because I think the secret to how to make all of this look good is hiding underneath that. So we'll just have a little bit of temporary bald Shalom here, so I can figure out how things should be right around here. So I think once I get rid of the crunchiness and distortion in this area, the area underneath the kind of head and neck area should kind of sort itself out. I might actually leave it off for a little bit. Like, I won't know if it's 100% correct until I turn those layers back on. Because how it's moving relative to that bang is really important. But it'll kind of let me figure out what's going on with the rest of the hair for a little while. Oh, moves like that. Okay. I actually want this to be more like this. I might need to consult the mesh again. Yeah, because these parts aren't moving quite the way I'm hoping. So it might just be that this needs to go a little bit further up. This too. And some of these areas won't be quite the same because they're going to kind of disappear behind her head. So at this point, when I pulled things back down, I might have overdone it. Just overdoing it all over the place today. That's fine. It happens. It happens a lot. Let's be real. Okay. Yeah, so I think some of it is going to kind of disappear behind her head here. Try to keep some of these angles looking nice. Some of this might actually end up being relevant for hair physics, since the hair will move around a bunch. Because I want to make it extra floofy and sway. It'll be so fluffy. So excited. Straighten some things out over here too, while I'm at it. Okay, so far it doesn't look like this area is moving up anymore, so I probably want to pull like all these vertices upward. Just get everything going up. Because I do think I should be seeing some movement here. It's like it's mostly solid color, but it's not completely devoid of color, so I feel like I should be seeing some movement going up there. Trying to keep the rounder shapes right through here round again. I'll worry about this stuff up there a little bit later, one thing at a time. But I assure you, that's definitely the area that's bothering me the second most. Just want to get some of these curves back in. Okay, I think that should be fine. I feel like some areas are compressing a little bit. But overall, I think this is roughly correct. We'll see what the me of tomorrow thinks, because the me of tomorrow is always pickier than the me of today. I swear, she's always able to pick out, like, all the problems. No matter how hard I try to hide them all. The eyes she has after resting are too strong for me. Gonna straighten out some of these triangles here. Another thing I have to remember is that I was very deliberate with my triangle placement when I was making these initial meshes. So that can also give me a hint as to where everything should go. There should be at least a degree of organization within all the triangles. Sometimes it can still get pretty chaotic. But there's a degree of order. I made it that way. I worked very hard to make sure it'd be that way. It's not just... I feel like I've gotten everything over on that side pretty good. So now, just a matter of working out everything over on this right side here. And I think once I have everything worked out there, that'll be it. That'll be everything. Just everything from this point right here to the right. Everything in that area. I'm still just really hoping I can finish off this last part, because it'd be really nice to be able to start the upward head turn tomorrow. It's the last one, and I'm very excited. I say it's the last one, but no, the corners are technically going to be the last thing I do for the head turns, and the corners are going to be a mess. I can already sense it. I mean, I can see it. Look at her jaw. Look how ridiculous that looks. It's fine. It's fine. I'll fix it all. Everything will be fixed. And I will make everything better. So much better. Gonna interrogate the mesh again for a little bit. See if I can't work out some better spots for all of these vertices here. Get them to where they need to go, as always. I'm paying some attention to the art. This isn't like those times where I just kind of zone out and stare at the movement of the vertices themselves. In this case, I actually am kind of paying attention to where things get dragged. This mystery is a bit more difficult than some of the other ones, so I don't think I should neglect the presence of the art too hard. Because I think the art has a lot to say this time too. It has many opinions. I'm willing to lend an ear this once. I feel like the length of this highlight right here is going to be extremely important. It'll tell me a lot. I think that's probably the biggest remaining landmark here, so I'm paying very close attention to it. Okay, but here I need to just look at the art. Because I think I pulled it a little bit too far down. It needs to be moving upward just a little bit here. And I'm not quite sure why it looks so skinny. Okay. Not convinced that is entirely correct here, but I think it's a good start. So I'm going to work on some areas down here because they're bothering me. And it's making it hard for me to focus on everything a little higher up. And all I can see is this area squirming. It's like, how can I possibly focus anywhere else? So one thing at a time. Get rid of the biggest squirmers first. And this area has some pretty solid landmarks because I know that the coat's not moving at all. So if I can get things to look good relative to the coat, then I know that I'm onto something. I feel like the tip is moving a little bit too far up, so let's bring it on back down. But I think everything else looks good. It's supposed to slide a little bit. Hello there! How are you doing today, Geronimo? Probably won't be streaming for too much longer, but I'm really determined to finish the hair today. Just got this last little bit to fix up here. Just always the interesting little bit of when the head moves down. All the hair, like around her head and stuff, moves down, but the hair on the back of her head, it all goes up because it's being pulled upward. Alright, sounds good. Always nice to have you here. Okay, I think this dark spot is perhaps moving a little bit too much. Which actually probably means, let me see. Yeah, and this part is moving up a little bit too much too. Just gotta send it back down a little bit here. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that I made the mesh as loose as I did. It's making it actually a little bit hard to move some of this stuff properly. I probably should have made it a little bit better. I got lazy here because I knew that it was just behind all of her hair. And so I was like, I'm not going to need to move it that much, am I? I can afford to be a little bit lazy, right? Okay, I think it's probably still moving a little bit too much, but I'm going to turn this hair back on and take a look. Probably just a little bit. But I think it's fine for me to keep the hair on now. I'm pretty thoroughly out of the area that it was covering up before. And I think I got some good clues as to where everything should be going here. And now I can kind of afford to just do whatever makes this highlighted area look as good as I can make it. It's funny, because when I started moving all this, I started with a big brush, and I think I just way overdid it with the brush, and kind of ended up making things hard on myself. Always a bit unfortunate, but it's okay. I can fix it all. I can fix it all. Just kind of gotta undo some of the strong push that I did before. Make it a little bit tamer. A little bit more reserved. And then things shouldn't squirm quite as hard. Okay, the very top of this highlight needs to move a little further up, but otherwise I think it's fine. Something like that, maybe. I think this side always gives me the most trouble when I have to work on it. So I'm not surprised that it's being a little bit stubborn. Let me actually take a look at the original here, because there's like a dark shadow that's supposed to come through here. And I probably do want that shadow. So let's just really push everything over here until it actually comes out. So right now it's hiding. I think I might have some better luck once I get it out in the open. Get all of this the right thickness and all that good stuff. All that stuff I gotta pay attention to. My headphones are... Oh. Am I able to fix it? Nope. Headphones are freaking out again. Give me just a moment. I just really hate it when it only plays sound in one ear. Generally, I can fix it pretty easily, but, always a bit annoying until I do. Then I can't focus, and... well, that's just no good, you know? Gotta be able to focus when doing this kind of stuff. Okay. Feel like I'm getting somewhere up here. Kind of focus just on the top here. I think I need to move this shadow spot a little bit higher. That should make the rest of it look a little bit more convincing. Still going a little bit too far to the left. Trying to be very gentle in the movement here, because I still want to keep that shadowed spot here. But I also want to make sure there's no distortion in that highlighted area. Yeah, there we go. That looks better. Gonna slide some of this up, I think. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Now I just gradually work some of those changes all the way down. And it should look pretty good. I think the hard part is still just getting this second highlighted area into the right spot. Finding the right length and how much higher or lower it should be. And then getting everything into the right shape. Because I kind of feel like I changed the shape of it. I don't think I want the shape to change that much. How much would a model like this cost? Oh god. Based on the sheer amount of hours that I'm putting into it, would probably into the couple thousand territory. Couple thousand USD. It's like I don't personally take model commissions, but you can probably find somebody that would on like vegan or something. The, what is it? Let me double check my spelling on it. Oh, shoot. Sorry, I was just, grabbing the URL there. But you can probably find, if it'll let me send links, people that'll take commissions on sites like that, and you can check out their pricing. But VTuber models tend to be quite expensive. For me, this kind of thing is still just a hobby. Just something I do for fun because I think it is fun. I don't know. Oh, hello there, Lumi-chi. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Anyway, what I was saying before is, I don't know if people stream their commissions live. I wouldn't be surprised if some do. I am not too familiar with a lot of that. So that might be something that you kind of have to look around for. Let me see. What are some things that you can look for? Like, I personally work in Inochi2D, but I think the majority of people that make VTuber models work in Live 2D. So you can search around on YouTube for Live 2D, and maybe you'll be able to find something in the live category and find people that take commissions there. Or maybe the people on Vegan will have links to YouTube channels or something, especially if they want to show showcases of their work that might be on YouTube. I'm not sure. I haven't looked too deeply into my stuff because I made my own model. And I don't think I'm quite ready to be taking commissions yet. I am still fairly inexperienced. I do enjoy streaming the process live, though, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's other people out there like me that also enjoy it. I think there's something special about just seeing everything come together. Alright, I think this little spot at the bottom is all that's left until the downward turn is complete. Ah, very exciting. Very exciting indeed. Just one last little bit here. And we'll see if the me of tomorrow is too picky and finds a bunch of stuff that she wants to correct, but the me of today thinks that things are looking pretty good. That's always the first step, isn't it? Alright, I need to hide this bang again. Where are you? Here we are. Just because I can't see the corner very well. And I want to make sure that I get everything here aligning correctly and looking nice. Okay, so I'm squishing it a little bit too hard. So that probably means I want to do something like this, actually. Pull these vertices in, pull those out, and then maybe I get the right shape. This is still looking a little distorted, so I'll have to fix it afterwards, but I want to see if I have the shape roughly correct. It's getting there. One thing at a time. I always like to check to make sure that I'm on the right track with my ideas before I worry about fixing things up and making them totally right. Because if I'm just way far off on the idea that I have in my head, then it's better to know that quickly. Because it does happen, more often than I like to admit. Okay, here. Let's see. I feel like there's just a little bit of trouble right around this red spot. So I kind of want to clean that up too. And the autosave slung me down a little bit again. It's alright. I can appreciate that it's doing its best to help out. Okay, how is this area looking now? I just still feel like there's something here that's not moving up right. I'm having a little bit of trouble figuring out what it is, because I don't actually want to move this kind of red area any further up. I think that's actually already in the right spot. Okay. I think that did it. Now I just want to get the angles on this a little bit better. Okay, there we go. That's actually a little bit better. Then while I'm in here, I'll straighten out some things over here. Just because I do think that this could actually end up being relevant for hair physics. Straighten out some of these vertices a little bit. I got kind of bunched up while I had the bang on. Alright. How's it looking? Alright. I think it's good, so here she is with all her hair on. All of it matching up. Thank you. So tomorrow, I'm going to start on the upward turn. That'll be the 4 main points done, and then I can worry about the corners. She can turn her head all around without looking weird. Just like, my goodness, that chin. It's incredible. Well, I think this is where I'm going to stop for today. So thank you all for coming. If you'd like me to take a look at your own creative projects, whether that be art, writing, coding, game design, or any other creative pursuit you can think of, feel free to message or at me on your social media of choice, and I'll take a look and maybe leave some comments. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye. And yes, I will see you tomorrow.